For a 56-year-old man who's missing from a Valley City care facility. His name is Rory Rupp. He was last seen leaving the Cheyenne St. Raphael care facility in Valley City. It was around 5 yesterday morning. He's 5'6", 137 pounds, brown eyes, brown hair, and was last seen wearing blue jeans and a dark hooded sweatshirt with white shoes.
Now, he is believed to be on foot. Police say he has a number of medical conditions which impair his judgment, behavior, and his ability to live independently. Contact Valley City Police with any information on the case. Happening today, an Otter Tail County woman accused of murdering her daughter is scheduled for court. Police say 27-year-old Suhad Ali of Pelican Rapids admitted to suffocating her child earlier this month after she wouldn't stop crying and asking for food.
Ali is in court at 9 a.m. She's in the Otter Tail County Jail currently on $1 million bail. Time now for a check-in this morning with our storm team forecast as we send things over to meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning.
Good morning. Today is one of those days where we're talking about heat and it's just starting. In fact, we have a first alert weather day for Wednesday because of the heat, because that's going to be our day that we'll see kind of the peak of this heat wave that's been building in for us. So warming things up here for this last week of July. Here's a look outside right now. We're not just feeling the heat, we're feeling the smoke from wildfire smoke that's moved in. You can see the sun shining above that layer of smoke that's causing some air quality that's in that unhealthy range, whether it be an orange or the red category. Right now, Fargo's in that middle of the orange category, which is unhealthy for sensitive groups, but some of us in Minnesota are in the red. So take it easy out there, and it's also reducing our visibility. We've got smoke. We've also had some fog that's developed, and a combination of the two in some instances here, bringing our visibility down to a quarter mile in Baudette. Candiu's at a half mile, Grand Forks rather, at 2.5 miles visibility. And then farther south, we are looking at about 3 miles in Wadena and in Gwinner. Oaks is one of our trouble spots as well. We're at a quarter mile visibility there. So some areas with some lowered visibility here this morning. That's going to be our biggest hazard for your morning drive. And then we're quiet as far as the radar is concerned. Dry conditions right now. So here's a look at what's going on outside. Temperatures are in the 60s mainly. We're at 65 degrees in Fargo, Grand Forks at 65. Very light wind. Most of us experiencing sunshine. It's just hazy sunshine with the smoke that's in the air. And a look at our planner, we'll see temperatures climbing back up to those 80s and eventually some 90s. Fargo, a high of 93 degrees. So again, feeling the heat, especially in the southern end of the valley. And we'll build that in for tomorrow more, with the possibility for some severe storms later in the day, Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, that's when we're looking at our hottest temperatures. A couple of us in the south could reach that triple-digit range up to about 100 degrees or so. So that's when it will be most extreme. And then we're scaling things back. We're bringing us back down to a little bit more tolerable conditions into the weekend. We'll be into the mid-80s at that point, and we'll keep that going into next week as well. So a few days here where it's going to be pretty tough with the heat getting into that range that gets not just uncomfortable, but dangerous if we're not taking care of ourselves. So again, stay cool, stay hydrated over the next few days.
Yeah, and we're just not used to that intensive heat this far north.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, we're talking about July especially, that's been more on the cool side. We're more acclimated to temperatures, relatively speaking, of course, that are more in the 70s and 80s right now. So this is going to feel tough, especially getting into Wednesday.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. We have a reminder this morning about the week's service for fallen Fargo police officer Jake Wallin. Fargo PD and Wallin's family are hosting a celebration of life this Wednesday at 1 in the afternoon at Shields Arena, and you are welcome to attend.
You can also catch live coverage of the ceremony right here on Valley News Live. This comes after Wallin's funeral and burial in Pequot Lakes, Minnesota over the weekend, when dozens of officers from as far away as the state of Nebraska showed up for Wallin's memorial. Injured Fargo officer Andrew Dotis wrote a statement from his hospital room to the Wallin family, saying today is meant for Jake and to honor his sacrifice.
He said in part, the biggest thing that we can give to Jake and his family is remind them that we will never stop honoring his sacrifice. I am constantly reminded that our roles could have been reversed. It's my duty to make sure that his sacrifice lives on. Jake, you are a true hero. Rest easy, brother. We got it from here.
The other two Fargo police officers who were shot in July 14th are making progress in their recovery. Dotis and fellow officer Tyler Hawes remain stable but critical condition. Both were actually able to stand last week for the first time since the shooting. Incredible news there. Officer Zach Robinson on the far right of this group photo was not injured that day, but he is the one who ended that shootout by taking down the suspect who was believed to be planning a mass shooting at the downtown Fargo street fair.
The Minnesota Fire Marshal's office working to confirm whether or not a natural gas leak caused a house explosion in the town of Jordan. Police say 3 people were in the home at the time on Thursday. However, they all made it out with just some scrapes and cuts.
The homeowners say someone was working on their dryer earlier in the day, just hours before the house exploded.
Just in the last month, safety experts at Safe Kids Fargo-Moorhead spotted a counterfeit car seat being used by one of the many families that they come across at the Sanford Children's Clinic.
And now there is growing concern across the country of parents and caregivers unknowingly buying these counterfeit car seats. The Valley Today's Nishay Taylor joining us live with more information. Good morning, Nishay.
Good morning, Jordan and Ashland. Now, while Safe Kids was only able to spot one within the last month, unfortunate news is that they've only seen less than a handful over the last few years, but that concern is still there. You know, there are some ways to spot a fake, and that's including the label. The label on a car seat will state it has a U.S. regulated and that it meets the federal motor vehicle safety standards. The labeling is also only in English and Spanish rather than any other language. If the car seat doesn't have a chest clips or harness, then it might be a fake. While car seats can be expensive, experts say don't buy from unreputable companies or online websites.
You buy a car seat to keep your child safe, and when we have a counterfeit car seat, they are not to standard, and then your child's risk of injury is greatly increased.
Yeah, experts say the Duna car seat and a stroller combo is one of the most common that are counterfeited by counterfeiters, shall I say. They say if you are looking to buy a car seat and you have one in mind, they say check out the manufacturer's website. It'll tell you a whole list of known stores where you can buy your car seat. Reporting live in Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Yeah, we all need to make sure everyone is safe in the vehicle, especially little ones who can't help themselves. Nishay reporting live this morning. Thank you.
In our consumer alert this morning, the International Air Transport Association now calling the continued flight delays and disruptions in North America, quote, unacceptable. The group says U.S. passenger airline employment is now at its highest level in over 2 decades. But despite that, passengers are still facing delays and disruptions.
The IATA is blaming both the FAA and NAV Canada, the Canadian version of the FAA. They say the governments on both sides of the border need to take ownership of this issue. Well, we're all just Barbie girls living in Barbie worlds.
Yes, well, say goodbye to the bird. Twitter about to unveil a new logo and a potential new name. Elon Musk says the company will soon say goodbye to the Twitter brand and gradually all of the birds. The blue bird will be replaced by an X logo that would go live worldwide as early as today. We can confirm if you use Twitter on a desktop computer, you're already seeing that new X logo.
Yeah, the bird is no longer the word. Since purchasing Twitter last October for $44 billion, Musk changed its business name to Xcore. That reflects his vision in creating what he calls a super app. Well, we have a traffic alert for you this morning. It's at the intersection of Broadway and 19th Avenue North in Fargo near North High School. It will be closed for some concrete repairs. It's expected to be in place for about 3 weeks.
A Wisconsin man won the coveted 2023 Hemingway Lookalike contest in Key West, Florida over the weekend. His name is Garrett Marshall of Madison, and he caught the eye of judges with his white beard and his wool sweater during the competition. It was at Sloppy Joe's Bar, where the real Hemingway often gathered with friends in the 1930s. Marshall is a retired television broadcast engineer, and he triumphed over nearly 140 other participants.
Now, this was his 11th attempt at the title, came on his 68th birthday. He says he shares Hemingway's passions for writing and the outdoors as well. Never give up on your dreams. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on.
Thank you all so much for waking up and joining us here on your Monday. What a way to kickstart the week. We'll see you guys again next time.